Welcome to Saya YouTube channel. Today we're gonna understand about what is dark psychology. It cannot be seen, cannot be felt, cannot be heard, cannot be smelt. It hides behind stars and under hills and fills empty holes. It comes first and follows after. Ends life, kills laughter. J.R.R. Tolkien, The Hobbit. The mind is one of the most complex aspects of human nature. The workings of the mind is something that has both puzzled and intrigued mankind for as long as we can remember. Philosophers, psychologists, and scientists have sought to unravel the mysteries of the mind. It is a generally held belief that the human mind influences our behavior and actions. So, a lot of research work has gone into understanding the mental process that a person undergoes before taking action, whether good or bad. Some attempts at studying the human mind have concentrated efforts on the brain. These studies look at the physical aspects of the brain with a focus on how information is acquired, processed, interpreted, and stored. Essentially, they hope to get a better understanding of how the brain can affect a person's way of reasoning. It is studies like these that have paved the way for progress in managing debilitating conditions like Alzheimer's, perception difficulties, and even memory loss. The more familiar aspect of the study of the human mind is psychology. At some point in our lives, we have either consulted a psychologist or we have known someone who had to consult with one in order to navigate our tougher emotional battles. A lot of times, life's experiences break us down in ways we cannot fix on our own. Sometimes, the breakdown is as a result of certain biological markers we inherited from our parents. Emotions like depression, anxiety, and fear darken our daily experiences, making it difficult to thrive. With a combination of drugs and therapy, we are able to protect ourselves from the darkness within. But what about the darkness in others? Everyone has the capacity of doing great good. We also possess the ability to do great evil. Beneath emotions like sadness, depression, joy, and happiness is a deep-seating desire that can lead us to deliberately harm others if those urges are not brought under control. These darker desires are rooted in more primitive instincts like our flight or fight response that promotes our survival. Sometimes, there is only one word that qualifies the human response to these dark emotions: evil. Dark psychology is a study of the human condition in relation to the psychological nature of humans to prey on others. In lay terms, dark psychology explores that aspect of human nature that allows us deliberately and willfully take actions that bring harm to our fellow humans. Mind you, the use of prey in this context does not necessarily translate into the physical harming of a person, although there is a branch of dark psychology that is dedicated entirely to this. In subsequent chapters, we will touch briefly on those areas to get a better understanding of the topic. In movies or books, you may have come across words or phrases alluding to a darkness within. Even some of the most famous philosophers made references to this. The revered book of the Christians talks about how the heart of man is desperately wicked. We have all encountered that one individual who we have described as exceptionally calm or reserved in social settings, only for this same individual to perpetrate an act so devious that we find it difficult to associate that act with this individual in question. Sometimes, we are that individual. As surprising as it may seem, it is not entirely shocking. Those cases are just triggered responses to external situations. The pot was stirred, so to speak, and those dark emotions that hid beneath simmered to the surface. Usually they retreat once control is exerted. Everyone has a latent tendency to be a bit naughty or just downright evil if the right buttons are pushed. Some other individuals, on the other hand, are fully in control of these dark emotions. They nurture them, feed them, and when it serves their own purposes, they willfully unleash them at the expense of another person. Sometimes, these emotions are groomed from an early age. A child learns that if he or she cries in a certain way, the adults in their lives rush to do their bidding. If the parents do not impress on the child early enough the wrongness of this, the child grows up thinking people in their lives can be manipulated into doing their bidding. The crying would cease to be a weapon as they would grow, but they would continue in their manipulative ways. Where they don't use tears, they use emotions to blackmail their victims. So, what started out as an innocent childish behavior becomes a dark need to control. The lengths that this individual would go to exert their control would define the intensity of their actions. Dark psychology is all about studying the thought process of a person like this. It seeks to understand the motive behind these actions, the patterns exhibited from before these acts are carried out to after, and throws more light on how a person can willfully see those actions to conclusion, knowing the hurt and pain it might cause to another individual. Dark psychology illuminates the dark side of human nature,